Give me a second.
Do you want to introduce us again? Okay. Wait, you start?
Yes.
Oh, we did start?
You can be in it, bud.
Nice
Oh.
job, guys. He's in it. So.
Okay, names in a line. I'm Jason, this is Isaac, that's Grant, that's Maddie, that's Crystal, and there's Marcos.
Yeah, it's us.
We are
The
meeting
team.
Manny.
Okay, so we originally had planned to go with the
Identity.
go with identity, but we recently switched to sustainability in our school, in our school community, and that's kind of the main thing we want to focus on because it's something that we all kind of feel passionate about and are more interested in than identity.
Yeah.
So our biggest success has to do with Crystal and Isaac. What do you guys?
Oh,
Yeah, you
biggest
guys said
success.
your biggest success on the website.
Oh yeah, so me and Crystal recently started working on a website to help with our sustainability, and I'm kind of new to it, but I feel like I'm getting the hang pretty dang quickly, and I've been able to figure out quite a bit, and it is coming along so smoothly.
We basically have all of the skeleton ready. We just start needing to put the information in there and then adding a little bit more pictures and stuff like that.
So it's all, pretty much the outline's all ready for us. We just
Yeah.
need the info, we need some pictures of us, and then some dash and sprinkles, and it'll look good. It'll look great. It's gonna be gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Something else that we did really well with is figuring out all of our roles that we had to pick out, so we all know what we're supposed to be doing and how we're supposed to be doing it. And we also felt really successful with finding something that we all agreed on again.
Yeah, so Grant and I started researching this week, and we started putting together all of the things that we found so it can lead us towards what our solution is going to be and what we're going to do in the overall part of the project.
Yeah, I think it went really well. I think what we've noticed though is one of our challenges is finding relevant information, because we're still kind of like swimming of like what even does relevant information mean, and also just like coordinating between us, like, okay, you found this, I found this, between the two of us, like, does this need to be thrown away or do we combine them? So it's just been kind of learning on our feet, but I think it's still going well. It's just a challenge that we have to overcome.
So I'd say that our team is working really well together. We know our responsibilities and we know what we're supposed to be doing, so we're working at a really well pace. Something that we want to work on after break is getting our surveys made and sent out to everyone. And we also need to establish a process that we can really crack down on and get going.
I already work all my
I feel
free
like
time
also
by the
the media
website.
stuff, like trying to get our information out on the media after we start getting more research.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's another thing that we can also try working on a little bit more.
We've got a logo that Isaac's been working on, and
I'm accepting.
you know, it'd be cool to have a media site for Be Green, to start kind of gathering a following and gathering a group of people who would be willing to help us out.
I mean, Instagram's always pretty good place, and TikTok's pretty dang famous right now.
So I found 3 of our main guiding questions that I felt were pretty important to our process. And the first one is, how do we inform and involve the greatest number of people? I feel like this is a really important one because we need to get a lot of people involved in this just to make it a successful process. And what would make this appealing to others? Something that we want to focus on is, we don't want people to get bored with what we're doing, and we want people to stay involved with what we end up doing, and how large of an impact can we make. We want this to end up pretty big, but I mean, if it's not, it's not, but we're striving for something larger, yes.
Nice.
And then when it came to most valuable piece of evidence, my most valuable piece of evidence that I found was it was called Building Minds and Minding Buildings, and it's greening at the roots, greening at the grassroots school recycling. and it has on page 10, it has this nice kind of step by step with brief explanations of basically, you know, bringing school recycling and making schools more green and like how to do it. And I think it's given us structure where sometimes it feels like we're floundering. And then
I found a trash-free school guidebook, and it has lots of ideas on how we can reduce waste in our school. So we just have to figure out which ones we want to implement and what we want to work on.
So, we do plan on making a survey. That's, like I said, that's one of our goals after break. And Marcos has the questions, some of the questions that we're planning on putting on there.
So how important is Freeman Public High School being environmentally to you?
So we want to know like how, we want to give people's opinions on how important this impact would be on others if we were to change an environmental process that we have.
What the Freeman High School be environment friendly look like to you?
So this is just what the people filling out the survey, what they imagined it looking like.
How is Freeman environmentally?
It says how environmentally friendly is Bremen High School right now?
which is just kind of part of the, because we have like, what do you think in being environmentally friendly looks like, and then how important is it to you? But then it's also important to kind of gauge people's idea of like, is Bremen meeting that
Yeah.
expectation? Because if they are, then you know that's important to know.
Yeah, we want to know what all we can do to make this most successful. So that's it.
We do have one more.
Oh, okay.
We have, the last one is what areas of environmental impact, reduction at Bremen High School are most important to you?
Yeah, so we just want to know which areas people feel are most important, so we can find the largest area and kind of focus on that more if we can, just so we're making an impact that means something to people rather than just us.
Yeah, for me, the most impactful thing is our lunch trays and how we just like toss out so much trash every single day during lunch. I mean, think of the hundreds of kids that go in there. Everyone has foam trays. Because they stack up like 2 or 3 trays. They don't give us one tray, they give us like multiple as well.
Yeah.
So we're not just throwing away one tray in a milk carton, we're throwing away this huge heaping every time. It's really,
I feel like a lot of food waste in general too, because they make us get certain food, but then we
Yeah,
already know we're
sure.
gonna throw it out, so I feel
We
like
don't
we
want
shouldn't
it.
be forced to do that either.
Yeah,
But that's just,
I understand we had to have a balanced meal, but if we're not gonna eat the balanced meal, what's the point of getting it?
And so like, those passions are really important because those are like the thrusts that we want to make. Food waste is another really big one for me, which of like, okay, this seems like a really easy problem to solve, but it is important to know what other people think is important to solve, and so that's part of the survey, and we're gonna keep working to find the system that best works, and yeah, hopefully come back to break, make things happen.
Oh, yeah.